so excited for today's video. You'll probably be able to see that throughout. You can tell why this is probably one of my favorites so far. But naturally, I'm also very sad that today is the last lunchtime session that we get to share together. So in anticipation of next year and being back face-to-face in the dining room, I hope you have had a chance to comment on all the videos, your ideas, jump in and make some posts, and of course, snap a photo of your sample menu and your ratings to foodfairy@camphendon.com. I can't wait to read those and see how we can spice up Camp Hendon 2021. And of course, like today, like all the other days, we are going to encourage you to post one last photo of whatever it is you're having for lunch and to be entered into that final drawing. So we're gonna have a big drawing that's gonna be for everybody, but if you've posted every single day, you're gonna be part of a special drawing to help us choose a special menu item for Camp Hendon 2021. So if you have only today left, make sure you get that post in today by the end of the day. We are looking forward to seeing those, and let me go ahead and welcome our hype team, because let me tell you, it's going to be bananas.
Bananas of Camp Hendon unite! Peel bananas, peel bananas, peel bananas, peel bananas, slice bananas, slice bananas, slice bananas, slice bananas, eat bananas, eat bananas, eat bananas, eat bananas, go bananas, go bananas, go bananas, go bananas.
So this recipe that we're going to be making is a chocolate banana fudge. This requires absolutely no baking, completely tasty, really easy to make, something that you can do with these extra squishy bananas that may have gotten harmed if you were doing a really fun hype team video, or if they've just been on the counter too long, because you're going to mash them up. It's not going to matter which bananas that you use. But let's give kind of a run through of the ingredients that you're gonna need to make this fun snack, which is really delicious. You will need the following. Bananas! These bananas are organic because they were on sale. You don't have to use organic bananas, you just have to use bananas. Chocolate chips! These are gluten-free and wheat-free, peanut-free, tree nut-free, dairy-free, and all kinds of things free. They don't have to be free from all that stuff. They just have to be chocolate chips. But these are great if you do have any food allergies and if you're just picky about food, because they are only unsweetened dark chocolate and sugar. Sunflower seed butter. You don't have to use sunflower seed butter. You can use peanut butter or almond butter or any butter that you have. This was also on sale at Kroger, and it's also allergy friendly. Buy things on sale. Honey. This one is local honey, which we love. Always support your Kentucky farmers. And benefit to honey is that it is also allergy friendly, but for a much different reason than those chocolate chips. Coconut flour. Ignore the gluten-free, because of course coconuts are gluten-free, but fun fact, these coconuts were not processed in a plant that also processes gluten, so they too are allergy friendly. This was one of the cheaper options at Kroger, so be very careful and shop around. Don't buy the first coconut flour that you see, because it can be kind of expensive because it's ground up coconuts, and that takes a lot of coconuts to make this whole bag. But the nice thing about this flour is that this recipe is not going to be cooked, so this is food safe, right? This is safe to eat without being treated, where most of your wheat flours are not considered safe unless they're cooked, which is number 2 reason why you shouldn't eat raw cookie dough. And also, fun fact, most of your cookie dough eateries these days are not using wheat flour. Coconut flour. Vanilla extract. This looks like a crazy science experiment, but it is homemade natural Madagascar vanilla extract. You do not have to use this. I just really like the way that it tastes. So use an extract that you have. It's also okay if it's imitation, because that's not the star of the show. All right, let's make some banana chocolate chip fudge. So we're gonna start with the bananas that I had sliced earlier when I cheated and had actually already had some frozen for the ice cream. And we put those in a bowl, and I've just got a regular fork. And this is something that you can easily do yourself. Or if you're doing this as family, have the younger little girls or guys do this, and you're just gonna mash it. I mean, this isn't supposed to be super pretty. You do want some of the larger bits mashed because it's the mashed banana that really gives the fudge its texture. So let's go ahead and get this mashed real quick. Okay, so sun butter is one of those that definitely needs stirred when you first open it because that oil has settled. That definitely does not mean anything is wrong. It just needs a little love before you're ready to scoop it out. Now what I'm using is just one of the bigger spoons that you use in your kitchen set. I am not a measurer. Don't tell anyone. But I've been cooking for a long time, and I just kind of guess. If it's a favorite ingredient, I use a lot more. If it's a less favorite ingredient, I use a lot less. But this is now calling for 4 tablespoons of peanut butter. So I'm gonna use about 4 of these really big scoops of sun butter. Now I imagine because this is kind of a tacky ingredient, like it's sticky, it's probably pretty important to get kind of close because it's gonna be kind of the binder in this recipe. So there's 4 tablespoons of sun butter. Okay, now the recipe is calling for our honey. So I'm gonna open this right up. Same thing, I'm just gonna get a large kitchen spoon and we're gonna go in this recipe with about 4, that was about 1.5 tablespoons of honey. Now I'm gonna cut this last one a little bit shy because I did overestimate quite a bit. But again, remember you are carb counting these ingredients, so you probably want to be a little more exact than I have been. And once you do this recipe a couple times, you'll know exactly how you want it to taste and if you want more or less of a certain ingredient. All right, next is the chocolate chips. That was easy because I pre-measured them. And that's actually a very important part of cooking, is what's called mise en place, putting everything in its place before you get started. All right, next up is our coconut flour. Now, when you're measuring flours, you should always do it in a fairly loose way. You don't want really packed flour. So I give mine a little shake, and again, I am not a measurer, so I have about 1/2 cup of flour here. And I'm just gonna dump that right into the recipe too. There's this really neat trick that a lot of chefs do with the back of the blade of a butter knife to help level off their flour, and then they put that in, and that's probably what you should do. So do as I say, not as I do. All right, now the recipe is asking me to fold through the flour. So what I'm basically gonna do is just get up underneath these ingredients and kind of wrap them up over the flour. Okay, it's not a real technical method here. You're just kind of flipping them over each other, and that essentially is what's considered a fold. A lot of cake or pastry or dessert recipes use this style of mixing, and you kind of want to follow it to some degree. I would think Maggie Epperson should get on here and tell us why that is, because I don't exactly know. But I know with some recipes, if you beat versus mix, you might add or take away some of the air that's meant to be in the recipe. So this is a fairly important step to get that mixed through. Now the goal of this point is just to make sure all that flour is incorporated. Make sure I go up here on the top of the bowl as well. Let me flop it over. And what you kind of have here looks a little bit like cookie dough. So next step is to press it into a lined pan and pop it right in the freezer. Okay, what I have here is just a little glass Pyrex container that I'm just shoving some parchment paper down in, and then we're gonna take our fudge batter and just pour it in on top of that parchment paper before we get it into the freezer. And you can tell how much like cookie dough this looks, so you know it's gonna taste super good. Let me get all that out of here. Okay, I think that's pretty good. All right, and then just gonna spread it around in here. You can see, you know, some of the chunk of banana that I didn't quite mash out, but I think that's okay. It's gonna make it taste real good. Okay. Let's get it in the freezer. All right, Camp Pendant, that is a wrap on your lunchtime sessions. We have had an awesome time preparing these videos for you. I couldn't possibly fit another banana idea into my brain right now, so I hope you really enjoyed the way the recipes turned out. I hope you try them at home and use some other ingredients for your nice cream, maybe some toppings on your banana pops, and that you just have fun with food. That would be my only hope that you take away from this week, that you can have fun at meal times and make eating just an enjoyable part of life, because it is my favorite part of camp. And I can't wait until Camp Pendant 2021. I can't believe that's a whole year from now, but it has been an amazing week spending all this time with you at lunch, and I hope to hear from you guys and some of the things that you loved about this week and your lunch sessions. So thank you from me, the Hype team, Mama Maggie, Maggie Epperson, and everybody that put in some time. Thank you, Topher, for all of the work on the videos. And thank you for being awesome and being our campers. It was great spending the week with you.